1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. A meeting of Federal Cabinet in Islamabad today with Prime Minister in the chair discussed overall political and economic situation of the country. Chairman Senate says Pak-Afghan ties can be further strengthened by promoting economic cooperation and political contacts. Chairman High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan has said Pakistan played significant role in facilitating the Afghan peace process. President says Pakistan is making all-out efforts for promoting peace and stability in the entire region. Pakistan has lodged strong protest with India over the recent ceasefire violations by Indian forces along the line of control and working boundary targeting civilian populated area. China has once again criticized India for its unilateral move of August 5, 2019, which downgraded and divided the disputed Jammu and Kashmir region. And now the news in detail. Federal Cabinet with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair was held in Islamabad today. The meeting discussed overall political and economic situation of the country. Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan, Dr. Abdullah, held a meeting with Senate Chairman Sadiq Sinjarani in Islamabad today and discussed bilateral relations as well as matters relating to parliamentary contacts between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Sadiq Sinjarani said Pak-Afghan ties can be further strengthened by promoting economic cooperation and political contacts. Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan, Dr. Abdullah says Pakistan has played an important role in facilitating the Afghan peace process. Addressing a conference at Institute of Strategic Studies in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan and Afghanistan have paid a heavy price in facing different terror groups, still acting as spoilers, terming the start of the talks between Afghan government and the Taliban as opportunity offering hope to end war. Abdullah stressed for enhanced interaction for a more peaceful and prosperous coexistence by exploiting huge untapped security, political, economic potential for cooperation between the two countries. Abdullah also thanked Pakistan for hosting millions of Afghan refugees, saying we share the idea of their dignified return. The Foreign Office has released a documentary based on the sincere efforts made by the Pakistan for peace in Afghanistan. Highlighting the dividends of peace in Afghanistan, the documentary states it will ensure economic integration, regional connectivity, stability and safe return of Afghan refugees. President Dr. Arif Alvi has said Pakistan wants to promote relations with all friendly countries in the areas of mutual interest and is making effort for promoting peace and stability in the region. He was talking to High Commissioners and Ambassadors Designate of South Africa, Italy, Egypt, Sri Lanka, Iraq, Qatar and Switzerland, who called on him separately in Islamabad today. The President apprised the envoy about the human rights violations and brutalities being committed by India against the Muslims of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said India has been prosecuting the minorities and international community is required to take note of gross human rights violation by Indian security forces against Muslims and other minority groups. Earlier, High Commissioner and Ambassador Designate of their countries presented their credential to the President. National Command and Operations Center in meeting in Islamabad today has unanimously decided to reopen the primary level schools from tomorrow. Briefing the media person in Islamabad today, Minister for Education Shafqat Mahmood said the decision was taken in consultation with all the federating units, including Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. This is Radio Pakistan. Chairman Kashmir Committee of Parliament Shahryar Khan Afridi has expressed grave concern over reports of continuing crackdown and harassment by Indian government of the Amnesty International officials in India. According to a press release, Amnesty and other right groups have accused police of complicity in Delhi riots, during which at least 50 people, most of them Muslims, were killed. The Amnesty have also exposed Indian forces' atrocities in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Talking to journalists in Islamabad today, he said the human rights watchdog says that the right-wing government of India has frozen the bank account of its India branch, forcing it to lay off staff, stop campaign and research work in India. Earlier, Amnesty International had announced to halt its operation in India due to continuous attacks and bullying by Indian government. In a statement, Amnesty Executive Director has said the Indian government did not answer the questions raised by the watchdog regarding Delhi riots and the human rights violations in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The announcement came amid growing concern over the state of democracy and free speech in India. Pakistan has lodged strong protest with India over the recent ceasefire violations by Indian forces along the line of control. Indian charge d'affaires Grover Ahluwalia was summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Islamabad today to register the protest. In a statement, Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz said the Indian occupation forces have been continuously targeting civilian populated areas with artillery fire, heavy caliber mortars and automatic weapons. Condemning the deplorable targeting of innocent civilians by the Indian occupation forces, it was underscored that such senseless acts are in clear violation of 2003 ceasefire understanding and are also against all established humanitarian norms and professional military conduct. One 15-year-old boy embraced martyrdom and 4 other civilians injured in the Indian Army unprovoked firing in Barrow and Tunda sector along the line of control. According to the ISPR, the Indian troops targeted the civilian population. Pakistan Army responded and targeted those posts which initiated fire. There are reports of substantial damage to Indian posts in men and material. In intense exchange of fire, Sepoy Shafiq, fighting valiantly, embraced martyrdom. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference and human rights activists have called upon the United Nations to set up a special tribunal to investigate war crimes committed by India in the territory. According to Kashmir Media Services, the APHC, Tehreek-e-Wahadat and right activists in their separate statements issued in Srinagar strongly reacted to the reports about the use of chemicals during the so-called siege and search operation in Kashmir. China has once again criticized India for its unilateral move of August 5, 2019, which downgraded and divided the disputed Jammu and Kashmir region. During his regular press briefing, China's Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said Beijing does not recognize the so-called Union Territory of Ladakh illegally established by India. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed grave concern over the ongoing clashes along the line of contact in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict zone. He urged both leaders of Azerbaijan and Armenia to take immediate steps to establish a ceasefire and resume negotiations in order to prevent instability in the region. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail over most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, light rain with thunderstorm is expected at a few districts in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. Now, few of the headlines once again. A meeting of Federal Cabinet in Islamabad today with Prime Minister in the chair discussed overall political and economic situation of the country. Chairman Senate says Pak-Afghan ties can be further strengthened by promoting economic cooperation and political contacts. Chairman High Council for National Reconciliation of Afghanistan has said Pakistan played a significant role in facilitating the Afghan peace process. President says Pakistan is making all-out efforts for promoting peace and stability in the entire region. Pakistan has lodged strong protest with India over the recent ceasefire violations by Indian forces along the line of control and the working boundary targeting civilian populated areas. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.